Welcome back, Hunters. Scott Sensei here with another informative video, and we are looking at the Insect Glaive in Monster Hunter Rise. Finally, we got a sneak peek at this weapon. There's been a lot of gameplay trailers and things like that for the other weapons, but nothing for Insect Glaive, so finally we get to see this firsthand. Just a reminder here, I'm going to be making tutorials for all the videos when Rise drops, and a lot more stuff for gameplay tutorials and helpful tips, so if you like Monster Hunter content, be sure to click that subscribe. Now let's jump on in. So right off the bat, we see that we have a good look at some of the combos here, and it's clear that the mechanics from World are transferring over. The light weapon combo is pretty much the same 3-step combo, while the heavy attacks can also be seen here near the end, and we're also seeing similar things like the lunges and the final animation. So from this, we're probably good to assume that the ground-based Insect Glaive is pretty much going to be very similar. For those who are new, Insect Glaive had a 4-step ground-based attack consisting of 2 light and 2 heavy hits. In the trailer, we see 3 of these 4 moves. The wide sweep attack is not shown here, but instead we had a leaping slash, which is basically the same combo, but only if you hold down the W key or push your character forward. So my guess is here the trailer wasn't made by an Insect Glaive main, but nonetheless, we see that the bread and butter combo is going to be returning in Rise. Aerial attacks seem to be pretty much the same as well. We see that we have the helicopter flying move returning, as well as the downward spinning mount attack. Now, while the aerial moves in Monster Hunter World were fun, they weren't really the best for DPS, so what I'm hoping for here is that we see a little bit of a buff and more damage given out from them, given how prominent they are in this weapon trailer. The other reason I think that we'll be seeing more damage from the aerial attacks is because the downward thrust itself has been replaced in Rise by a wirebug skill move. Many of you might not remember this, especially for those of you who don't have Twitter. Capcom did release a clip of the downward thrust being shown as a wirebug move that attaches to the monster and pulls you straight into them. In the Tokyo Game Show now, it was revealed that the wirebug is a charged move, so you don't have an unlimited number of moves. Nowhere in this trailer is this shown, but we also don't see the downward thrust, so I'm assuming here that it's going to be a wirebug move, and honestly I hope that's a balancing move. In Monster Hunter World, it was very easy to spam the downward thrust, so easy that you basically didn't need the other aerial attacks unless you wanted to reposition. So hopefully in Rise we see a buff in aerial damage, while then we can use the limited wirebugs to do finishers, bringing us back to the ground. Speaking of wirebugs as well, in the trailer they did show a new move, the Silkbind Vault. Now this one uses one of the wirebug charges, and it helps you move really quickly in the air to adjust for an attack. Now I thought this was a pretty cool move, given how many times the monster will just move anytime you vault in the air in Monster Hunter World. However, the downside is that it does use a wirebug charge. Now, my issue here is that all pre-game footage has shown that you only get 2 charges of the wirebug, so conserving these for the downward thrust in Insect Glaive is going to be pretty useful for your DPS. Again, this is another reason why I think we may see a buff in aerial damage, because we have yet again a new feature that is focusing on aerial movement and positioning for aerial attacks. Alright, finally now we come to the Kinsex. They are still on a send and receive basis, and we see all 3 regular buffs which are carrying over right from World and older generation games. Now we don't know if the Slinger Almo is making a return. Judging from the footage from the Tokyo Game Show and the images seen here, there is no Slinger on your arm. So my assumption here is that we are not getting the Kinsex Slinger buffs back like we did in Iceborne. Now with that being said, one of the new Silkbind attacks is also a Recall Kinsex move, which immediately brings back your Kinsex back to you to restore your health along with the Kinsex stamina. In Monster Hunter World, Kinsex would not automatically recover stamina, instead they would need a few seconds to fully recharge. Here we see footage of the Kinsex fully recharging immediately, which means they can probably be set right back into the battle. Now this may be a balancing move to replace the Slinger Kinsex buffs that we had seen in Iceborne. The buffs were mainly used to boost Kinsex stamina and damage, and I can't confirm the damage as of yet, but at least the stamina we can see that it's much easier to manage for Kinsex from this trailer, and thus the Kinsex might not need a stamina buff like they had in Iceborne. And yeah, that's about it for the information that we got from this trailer, guys. I'm really excited for Rise, and I will be putting some of these more comparison videos for everyone. I don't specialize in all weapons, but I will do my best. Gunlance will be coming later today, as that trailer also just dropped tonight, and Sword and Shield hopefully over this weekend. A reminder that Monster Hunter Rise is coming out with a demo sometime in January, so be on the lookout for that, and the full game comes out on March 26th, so hope to see everyone there, and we'll see you soon. Keep hunting, everyone.